Live. All right, guys, welcome back. It's been a while, and we have another show for you. And of course, with me, as always, is Mr. Lou Rod. How's it going, Lou?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, man. It's good to be back. I know we were supposed to be back last week. It was kind of busy. Techtober is here, so for me, it's always busy time. But this week, we're going to start off with, of course, our one and only big DC movie of the year, which was supposed to be a small movie, right? Think about it, right? I haven't seen Joker yet. You haven't seen it. But it was, just think about it. The budget was 70 million, but everybody thought of it as being like this artistic auteur movie type of thing. And it's the biggest opening in October at $93.6 million for the weekend, right? And about 246 million already worldwide. So what do you think about those numbers? And what do you think about we'll talk about the numbers. Let's talk about also some of the reviews of Joker. But what do you think about the numbers first?
Numbers fine. I mean, where did one of us get close to 100?
I said 100 million.
Okay, so you were the closest.
I can't remember what you said. I know I said 100.
I think I said around 85.
I mean, you didn't go over, so technically you won. But yeah, I mean, I agree. So you think the numbers are good, and do you think this bodes well for more DC Black label movies?
Well, I saw something on Twitter today. They're thinking about a Lex Luthor as president.
Oh yeah, yes, please make that. That storyline is so in the comics; it's already there. But to do it without Superman is very capable. And this is, and a lot of people have said, look, now you can do it with Bryan Cranston because it's
Oh, bro, don't even. I just finished watching Breaking Bad to get ready for Friday. And the level of emotion and expression that he expressed in this show, because I haven't seen it since it aired. This was my first rewatch with it, and by God, I'm so looking forward to El Camino.
Yeah, so I think having that would be really cool to see a Lex storyline, right? Especially if you do Lex, the savior of Metropolis, the man who has done so much for the world in his own mind, right? And yet you still see some of his shady side. And if you end that movie with just the announcement of Superman, like you don't even have to show Superman, you just have to show, like you can literally steal that shadow of him floating in Man of Steel, right? As just the new storyline. And that's it. And that's where Lex gets, that's where the evil Lex really comes out, because he was supposed to be the best of mankind. And then some guy just came out of nowhere. It was like, ooh, I got Kate. I'm good. But with Joker, so Joker's done well. I'm gonna catch it. I'm trying to catch it sometime this week. But we also saw the reviews, right? So the initial reviews from all the festival stuff was highly positive. And then they came to talk about incel, about white privilege, like all this. There's a lot of stuff.
Stupid shit.
It's very, I mean, like a lot of counter marketing. And, I haven't seen the movie, but I also know that it's a DC property. No matter how you look at it, it was never going to stray away from what the Joker is. Storyline doesn't have to be anything connected to Joker at all, because the Joker has no true origin. Like DC, a few years ago had 3 origins for the Joker, because they made it seem like, the Joker's origin is this mystery. But the essence of the character, I knew they were not going to mess with, because that's just, it's core. It's really core to who this character is. So when all those reviews came out, it was good to see again. And again, it feels like this very Rotten Tomato versus DC thing that's been happening for the longest time, right?
Oh, this is what I say about Rotten Tomatoes. People who use it, they're entitled to their opinions, but honestly, people need to stop worrying about what critics say. Just go enjoy a movie for yourself. Don't let a critic sway you one way or the other.
I think what it is that you look at it this way and you go, I think for a lot of people, because sometimes think about it, Rotten Tomato is always that snap judgment of if you've got nothing to watch that weekend, right? And you go online, you check, and then you see just the score quickly, like a quick glance. But then for a lot of fans, you go, and I saw a lot of people post this to say, even though Joker is rated fresh at 69%, meanwhile the audience rating is at 93 or 97, some high number, right? They go Joker 69, yet Captain Marvel is 79%. What kind of world do we live in? You know, whether you like Captain Marvel or not, that movie was more on the bad side of things than it was on the good side of things. You know, just from a story and character development level. You know, so my question is, how much legs do you think this movie has? Because now the question is, will it match Venom in terms of, you know, numbers, or would it get to, where do you think it would end in terms of numbers?
What did Suicide end with?
730 something, 735.
I think it's going to end more in that range. I don't think it's going to reach Venom.
I think 700.
Venom had more legs because of where it came out in August.
No, same time, October. It's an October.
Was it October? That was an October movie?
Yeah, that's why they talked about Venom. It beat Venom. Venom had the highest October rating for October.
Oh shit! Damn, that was because I don't know. I saw it in September.
You had an early screener.
I had a early screener, so yeah, I didn't even pay it no mind.
Yeah.
So I still don't see it catching Venom.
No, I don't either, but I kind of agree with you. I think that 700 something,
Which is
maybe even a high 700, like a 780 is possible. I think so. I think what will hurt it is also because I don't think it's playing in China. It doesn't have a date in China yet either. So if they can get anything from China would help, but I don't think it does. So, you know, that goes to play. But I think right now WB is very happy with where this is. My thing is, I hope
it's one of those scenarios. You took a shot in the dark, and boom, you got a $95 million opening weekend, and you know it's got strong legs. It's just going to see, because this week, if everything goes well, I go see Gemini Man tomorrow. That opens Friday. There's certain movies that might give it a little bit of a problem, but maybe not a lot.
I think Gemini Man will give it a problem. I think it will.
And then Addams Family is coming out here soon as well.
See, but here's the thing. I think closer to Halloween, it will pick back up again.
Maybe.
I think because its Chapter 2 came out earlier, and there's really no big, and Joker fits into that bill of
if there's no real good horror movie coming out, then yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what, I mean, there'll be horror movies that come out, but I think it's, you know, because its Chapter 2 came out in September instead of October, this now gives it a little play into that. And I think Gemini Man will hit and then drop down again. Because remember, we've also got a little Will Smith renaissance back again after Aladdin and also the stuff he does on social media. So I think it comes to play. But if I'm WB, I will not cross. If I have them, do not cross over the DC Black with whatever you're doing in your DC Universe stuff. You know, keep that separate. You know, make a sequel if you want to, but keep it separate.
It feels like we have two separate universes, not with the Black Label, but just in the universe itself. Matt Reeves' Batman feels like it's going to stand on its own, and then Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Shazam, Birds of Prey all play together.
I think Matt Reeves' Batman will stand on its own, but will be allowed to come in. It's all time period placing. Remember, just because of the way it is. Because if it's anything in like, if they just place it just a few years before Man of Steel, it doesn't really matter, right? Because also again, Wonder Woman also play, and again, is Batman. He's you can always create a Batman story in Gotham, and it doesn't really affect anything at all. So I think that's okay. I just look at it this way. I go, figure out what you want to do with the universe stuff, right? Keep your label stuff separate. If you want to do a Joker again sequel, if you want to do a Lex, if you want to do any other villain, right? Or even if you want to do like a somebody was suggesting like, let's do Red Son. I was like, Red Son is great for animated. It actually is a good story, but I don't think audiences will like it because, again, Superman is one of those characters. If you change, people start getting angry, right? They just start getting nuts. So let's leave it in animated. But you could take lesser characters, right, and do a one-shot movie, like a smaller character, and just do a one-shot movie of it, and then people will go, "Oh, okay, all right."
Honestly, they should use this as their one-shots as villains, not the heroes, just the villains.
I mean, I agree. I mean, they've got a lot of cool villains they can do that with. To me,
Yeah.
the heroes should go to the smaller heroes should go to HBO Max, right? And do like your series there and stuff like that. The villains you can get like a really tight. I mean, you could really do like heck, you can even do like a Captain Boomerang storyline. Just maybe it might be even
or
funnier.
him robbing stuff. That would be great.
That might be funnier, but again, it's his own little story, and I think they can do that. And they really, the praise that a lot of people are giving, because the amount of people who have talked about Joker on my Facebook page are the non-comic book fans. That to me
and
says
that's what they were targeting.
And that says a lot, because I know people who are like, "Oh, you got to see Joker." That it will get the things that it will get you thinking. That's even the funny part. And I'm like, Todd Phillips has literally just nailed it for himself, right? And Joaquin Phoenix also has gone like, okay, this is a character I can come back again. And they shouldn't do a quick sequel. If I'm them, come back in 2022 with a sequel. Just another one. Let it marinate, right? Let it just sit down.
Marinate, and then also do another good story to it and shit like that.
Yeah. So I think they've got something there that they can actually play with. But it's good to see. It's good to see that DC has something solid and people are not like because one of the discussions I had this week was with a friend last week who's a big Marvel fan. He did not like Endgame because he's a comic book head too. There's a lot of things that he just did not like, and I was like, look. Marvel has gained the trust of people to change storylines that will annoy the heck out of you. Like, for instance, Thor, Love and Thunder, right? He does not want to see that at all because he already can think of the things they're going to change to make that work.
What they're doing is they're giving Chris Hemsworth his happy ending and letting him send off.
Yeah, so
that's what they're doing with it.
So that's the thing they're trying to do, and I think in his mind he's just like, no, just stop making stories of the character, or put it on hiatus, and then come back. And then if you want to do, and I think this is where you have this meet between fanboys and people looking for more representation, right? Is fanboys will say there are many characters you can make a movie on, right? And don't make don't turn silly characters. So, for instance, he was going, "Are you going to watch Batwoman?" I was like, "No, it just looks cringeworthy to me. It looks terrible." He's like, "I know where Batwoman comes from, but it's like I'd rather they did somebody else. I wish it was even just Poison Ivy because there's just better characters to write than that." And I think that's where like some of that.
The CW was for the heroes, not the villains.
Yeah, I know. But CW also does like cringe stuff too.
If you want, shameless plug, but if you want good villains and stuff like that, you go to the DC streaming and watch Titans, Doom Patrol. I never finished Swamp Thing because they canceled it, so I really had no desire to finish it.
You gotta finish it though. Gotta finish it. Gotta finish it. I mean, look, I did the same thing too with Daredevil. I just finished Daredevil, and I said, "Nah." It's like then I watched it, and I was like, "That was the best season ever. That was so beautiful."
Look, season 1 was great.
Yeah, it was good.
Season 2, the Punisher episodes in the first half,
first 5, yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Then season 3, that was hands down like. Even Loki himself is pleading with Marvel, save Daredevil. This guy is the one.
Dude, Daredevil, the way Kingpin. If you haven't watched season 3, please go watch it. This is a spoiler.
Boy,
Just saying, and because man, I'm a year late. The way Kingpin mastermind his way throughout the whole that season, the way he manipulated the FBI, I was like, this is the Kingpin I know. That story, I mean, yeah, there's some story elements from the comic book, but that's not a story that I know. And I went, this is how you write a show. This is how you do a good job. And this was a good send-off for a show. I mean, if you know it's not coming back, or even if they did, like the way they wrote it was, they just felt like it was a good story. So even if you didn't continue or not, you went like, at least I got the best season of Daredevil.
there,
Right
a few of the guys on the Collider staff were saying Jessica Jones season 3 was like their best one.
well, I mean, I don't know. Man, Jessica Jones is
But once it got canceled, it's like they canceled it before they aired it, and we all kind of knew it was coming. Like, I like Punisher season 2.
I haven't seen season 2, so that's the next one I'm gonna go watch.
It's just so. I really hope. Look, out of the characters they saved, you could get rid of. I don't care for Kristen Ritter, whatever her name is, as Jessica Jones.
No,
I don't care for her. You could reboot that one. I don't mind Luke Cage. I honestly think if Luke Cage is written better, where it doesn't always fall apart.
At the second half, yeah. Oh no, Luke Cage is always fine the first half of the season, and then the second half they just kind of lose their way always.
And you could honestly recast Finn Jones. He should have never.
Oh yeah.
I'm the Iron Fist. No,
but also again, as half of that, I blame the writing for him. And also the writing and directing, because Finn Jones is, I think, one of those actors that really needs a good director and if you give him a good director, good script, we're probably going to better. We'd have probably gotten something.
You know what?
Definitely.
Did he get a season 2?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, season 2, he was actually a little better, even with his fights.
Yeah,
they looked a little bit better.
But I mean, no, I mean that's fine. Anyway, let's transition over to Star Trek. We saw trailer number 2 for Picard. I like this trailer better than the first trailer because the first trailer gave me the perception that it was going to be much slower, and then I see that it really is open up. It was good to see number 1 again.
Which older. One, the dog or the older one?
No, the older number 1 and his dog. Diana Troy was also there as well. Quickly, we saw a brief look at her. The one thing I mean, I granted that was a vision. The one thing I didn't like is the way Data looked, and that's not even. That's almost the makeup. It's not really how he looks because Brent Spinner doesn't look like that. To me, this is where CGI needs to come into play. Data, even if Data was trying to look older just because his friends are looking older, right? He shouldn't look older and just this chubby look. I didn't get the look. I didn't like that. That was the one thing I didn't like. And I mean, I'll probably get used to it, once everything starts rolling through again. But it looked like an interesting story. I mean, Picard is definitely much older, so he's probably closer to 100 at this point in time, I would say. And I'm just not. This is the one thing that the Federation does I don't like. They're treating him like he's some old decrepit
man.
This is somebody who has all the captains of the Enterprise are known for saving the universe countless times. Okay, William Shatner is the same way. Shatner, that anyone who worked on the Enterprise should be given like lifelong respect because these are the people who just save you about 90% of the time, right? Yeah. So the way they were like, it's not your Enterprise. I was like, come on, I get it. You're the new boss, but come on, you got to give this guy some props. If he was a Vulcan, you guys would be like, okay, sure, yeah, no problem. So I was cool. Did you see the trailer for season 3 of the other Star Trek show, Discovery?
They gave one out?
There's a teaser trailer.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
There's a teaser trailer. It doesn't really reveal much, but it just says, look, we're 930 years in the future. It looks like the Federation doesn't necessarily exist anymore. So we'll have to see what it is. But
who's the captain of the ship? That's what I want to know.
The captain, I think, is what's his name? Saru. Although, of course, our favorite villain, what's her name again? Michelle Yeoh is part of the team, so
Oh, she should be the captain.
But
the way that ended, it kind of makes sense. The way season 2 ends, it makes sense because Discovery was never spoke of in any timeline of Star Trek. Granted, maybe they never really had a reference for it, but the way they ended it with Spock never referencing Michael Burnham as his sister and all this other stuff, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, that was a nice way to tie it up so that fans don't get angry and stuff like that. So to me, I mean, because Star Trek fans don't like to admit that there are multiple timelines. It's Star Trek. You can't have multiple timelines. Discovery as a show says there are multiple universes in there. So for me, that one is fine. But I'm excited to see another season of Discovery. I think, that should be fun, fun thing to watch. So, what else? What else in terms of shows? No other trailers really we got from Comic-Con this weekend. Not much.
Let's see. What else did I share with you? We saw Picard. Lost in Space season 2 coming in December.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I can't wait. I was wondering what was taking so long with this thing. I enjoyed that. The Expanse #2 trailer.
So,
granted, I don't know what's going on with the books. That's you and our other buddy. I can't wait to revive that talk show and you guys can break down these books.
So they've mixed from the trailers. They're mixing a lot of things, which I didn't think they will, but I guess they can because where I am in book 8 is so ahead. Something happens in this upcoming season, that goes back to the proto-molecule from the very get-go, and then ties into where I am in season 8. It's such a again, the name Expanse, right? Really defines the show. I don't want to spoil it for people, but let's just say space operas. This really takes that whole. You need to open your mind and just go deep as far as possible.
From the book, what planet do they land on? Is that in one of those new?
Oh yeah. I mean, that one is you from the get-go. I mean, this is not really a spoiler because it most likely will start this way. Once the rings open to the different worlds, it was 1,000 planets, right? 1,000 portals,
universes.
Yeah, everybody started just going, but doesn't mean that all of those places are viable. Because remember from last season, they were all closed up because something else was attacking the makers of the portals. You have to understand that is very important in The Expanse. The guys who made the proto-molecule, they weren't necessarily evil. Nobody says they were. Like, no one has explained that. These guys were adventurers. They made portals to go everywhere and stuff like that. Somebody else came and wiped them out. So just think about that. The guys who made something that awesome, there was somebody else who was like this. And are they gone? Are they back? We don't know. So
December.
I mean, it's such a great show. And I had some Expanse geeking out this week at Microsoft event. I met some people who were like, we're just talking. They're like, do you watch Expanse? They're like, you too. And they was just like, we just started talking Expanse.
Yeah, I had a little conversation earlier with Whedon about Vikings, the final season. And he's like, man, besides Vikings, I'm so looking forward to The Expanse. I'm like, can't wait. December is shaping up to be like, how you got Techtober and Techtember and all this other stuff? December is going to be that for us as far as television, movies.
Not much in movies, though, other than Star
Well, really, it's only Star Wars and Jumanji 2.
Yeah, but no, that's still not much.
It's enough to consume a weekend because the same day.
Did we talk about how? I think we talked about this the last time we had a show was George Lucas and how he felt betrayed.
No, we didn't. That was part of the show notes for last week.
Yeah. Okay. So let's bring it back up here, because it was funny because I watched Jeremy Johns.
Before we go to George Lucas, let's touch on the Birds of Prey trailer. Did you enjoy it? Did you not like it?
So I liked the Birds of Prey trailer. I can see why a lot of people didn't like the Birds of Prey trailer.
I don't know what they're complaining about. I thought it was quirky, stupid. She had a hyena. All right, let's go. Bring this on.
It's Harley Quinn. It's almost they've forgotten what Harley Quinn is. Now, the only thing is, I think the thing that some fans didn't like is that the rest of the Birds of Prey were not in their traditional outfits, right?
Come on. They'll probably get there.
It doesn't look like that's Huntress or that's
Canary.
The one thing with Huntress I don't like is she doesn't seem as tough as Huntress is. Huntress is a badass. I mean, the way Batman describes it in the comics, he considers her the second best fighter after him of all Justice Leaguers.
I mean, come on, the Huntress we got on Arrow, oh my God, all she does is want to love you.
So when you have, like, to me, I just didn't get that from the trailer. Again, it could change, but
it's just it's the first trailer for a movie that comes out in February. We will get one more in December or early January.
And again, we're going to get 2 more trailers. We're going to get one more in December. We just didn't get also a full introduction to the rest of the team. It was pretty much a Harley Quinn trailer. That's what it was. And again, that's how I look at it. It was more zany. So I get it. People are a little put off in that. The next trailer, again, will also incorporate more of the action scenes that they just finished shooting, right? So we'll see. And then I want to see how they use Black Mask, because that's the one part I'm still very iffy on. Other than that, it was a cool trailer. I was like, all right, cool.
And the other trailer we got last week was Ryan Reynolds' new movie, 6 Underground.
I mean, 6 Underground is basically Fast and the Furious for Netflix. It's called what it is.
With guns?
Guns, yeah. It looked cool. I mean, I was like, and it's coming out in December,
I enjoyed it for what it was. 3 minutes. Michael Bay. Okay.
Yeah, it was great for Netflix. You can watch it at home, chill, and you're good. Now, going back to George Lucas and Disney. So, no, but I feel Lucas. I really do, because I do for the onset of this, because this didn't come from Lucas. This came from Disney's president. That's why Lucas never came out. Maybe it's like anything else. Lucas expressed to him he felt betrayed, and that's to him. That's fine. Remember, Lucas didn't look. That's why I say give him all the props, because he didn't come out and say
he didn't come out, but he kind of did come out with his. He didn't care for the Force Awakens. He's like, this is a New Hope rehash. Nothing original.
Can you blame him? No. And the fun if you haven't watched Jeremy John's video on it, because that's how I actually found that out. I didn't even know about it, and he talked about it. And Jeremy John, just like, when you break it down, he's like, when he sold them off, he gave them the ideas, and then it's not just him. Luke Skywalker also had problems with the movies.
Well, because in the original outline, I guess he stayed in contact with Lucas. Instead of getting killed in 8, he was supposed to get killed in 9, which, okay, he would have been more. A lot of folks are upset with how The Last Jedi portrayed Luke. Look, this is the assumption that needs to be understood. How you portray him, whether it was Legends or in your head, doesn't translate to the screen.
No, it's not that. Here's the biggest thing, and I think what's his name from Collider had the best breakdown for it. What's his name again? The main guy who does the Collider show. He's leaving. Christian said it best. He said he probably would have, and I'm paraphrasing, he probably would have liked to see Lucas's story because somebody else can write the script.
Yeah, but Lucas's story had a big flaw that fans would have not liked.
We don't look. I think it's how
they didn't like the midichlorians in the prequels. They weren't going to like where it was.
No. They didn't like the midichlorians in the prequels. Then look at how people are treating the prequels now. It's for a fact. Everybody's going like, Lucas should just not have written the storyline. the script. Everybody now will tell you that because and Jeremy Jones had the greatest analogy for it. He said, when you watch the prequels, when you watch the original and the prequels, right? You knew where you were, you understood the universe, you understood what was going on. I don't understand what's going on in these two movies so far. I don't know.
There's no direction.
See, that's the thing.
There's no cohesive writing. There's no cohesive direction. That's where the problem is.
There is no world building. And that's why going back to Christian, he said, you take the world building and the big concepts he's giving you, and you write your movie. You don't have to carry everything. But if you take the general scope, you would have had a more cohesive storyline.
And what do you think about Feige doing his movie?
Feige's going to have his cohesive storyline for whatever he wants. It's the same thing, except Feige, Feige doesn't write anything anyway, right? But Feige,
he just builds.
Why do you think Feige is here? Why do you think Disney now says, Feige, go do that? Because they messed up. That's to me, that's just proof that in a way, Lucas was vindicated. Whether his story was right or wrong, doesn't even matter, right? But he was vindicated they did not have a cohesive story because he gave them a cohesive story. Whether you don't like it or not, look at Snyder, for instance. Look at how DC has messed up. Again, Snyder had a cohesive story and then they messed it up. That's one way of doing it. Or like Disney and saying, when you give them a cohesive story, they were like, no, we'll do our own thing. First, we'll just copy A New Hope, and then we'll try and finagle something out, and then we'll not. And like, to me, if they're going to copy A New Hope, they should actually have just said J.J. Abrams do the remaining two.
He didn't want to even do he didn't want to do the first one. But he was like, his wife pushed him that way.
So,
yeah,
so that's where we. That's where
to your Snyder point. We had Martian Manhunter in the universe.
No, you have a cohesive. When you have a cohesive story, you can always bring back. Why do you think, no matter how bad the writing was in episode 1, 2, and 3, the story matches like this? The writing is not great. I agree. The story.
You want to know something? I never had an issue with the prequels. I enjoyed them for what they were.
I didn't like the writing in the prequels. Look, the writing in the prequels was just bad writing. For me, it was that, right? Episode 2, the second episode 2 just didn't feel like, it felt like they just wasted time on certain things and not other things, right? But as a whole story arc, you see the journey, right? I guess he was trying to show it. Because he doesn't write well, he couldn't show it properly. That's the difference, right? We could
should have had help.
Yeah, because if somebody wrote it well, then it's like you just go, okay, oh, I just need 2 or 3 key scenes that explains this, and then we move forward, rather than me wasting so much time with that. So that there's that aspect. But you can see where Disney is faulted. Again, Lucas also gave them his storyline for Han Solo. What did we get? We got crap.
It wasn't crap. If it came out in December, like they said.
No. I'm not talking about box office numbers. I don't care about that. It's the biggest Star Wars character is Han Solo.
You know why it was crap? No one wanted the kid.
No one wanted the kid. Direction was had to be redone. They gave us, because again, Disney wanted to put out what it wanted to put out. They like, we have this movie coming, we're putting it out. The thing is this, is that the only way that kid would have worked as Han Solo is if he was the Han Solo in a TV show. That was the only way. At least the person who they cast. If they really wanted to do it, look, again, Han Solo, Luke is a big character now. He's now become bigger as years has come by. But Han Solo has always been the man. Remember the first trailer for episode 7. What made that trailer? It wasn't the voice of Luke. It was when he walked in with Chewie. Chewie, he's like, we're home, done. Everybody was like, I'm going to the theaters. So when you take that kind of iconic character and you throw it down the trash, now you can't resurrect it. You have to wait a number of years before you do it, or what they most likely would do is they'll do a TV show a few years down the line and just leave it there and just kind of put it in that section and go like, call it a day.
Like I said, I enjoyed Solo for what it was. I liked what they built, and I hope that they do decide to do a series on Disney Plus with at least Kiera, Darth Maul, and the Underground. Maybe have Solo come in with the Falcon, him and Chewie pick up a smuggling run and keep it moving.
I mean, you could, but I'm like, at least for me now, I'm just not. I don't care about the character. Like it's just they killed my favorite Star Wars character. I mean, they killed my number one was Han. Luke was a far number two until I started seeing all the stories of Luke, and then I watched Luke in episode 8, and I'm like, again. I'm like, again. I mean, that's the thing. Is like they've done that in Sacrifice of they're trying. This is the problem. This is where their writing went off. Right, you're trying to show a female character as being strong, and then you miswrite everybody else. And that's what a lot of fans don't know how to represent out, because look, watching a show with strong female characters doesn't mean you have to trash anybody else. I keep telling people, go watch Battlestar Galactica. You see
I'm watching that again too.
You will see strong characters everywhere, male, female. I mean, like when you have Odama, who is a general in the army, and he's talking to the president, who's a school teacher, and she says, "I am the president. He needs to come here. I don't have time for that crap." Then you know that you've written characters that no matter where the level are, they know how to interact. You write Starbucks.
Disappointed with you.
What?
You didn't have it in the Plex, man.
Oh yeah, because it's on Hulu. That's why.
It's on Hulu?
Yeah. I keep watching it. Hulu. Check again. Check. I mean, I could be wrong, but it's on Hulu.
I know I have it on my Amazon Prime. That's how I'm watching it.
Okay, then it's on Amazon Prime now.
Because I looked on Hulu and it didn't come up.
Hey, what's up, tech guy? Yeah, man. It's been a while. I need to get this on the regular time schedule on Monday, 6 p.m. so that people know. But no, it's cool. But that's what you need to do. You need to actually make strong characters that are not going to make other characters look weak, because then your story is just flawed at that point.
It's all about writing. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. If you don't do that, then your characters literally fail, heavily, and it doesn't work. So I mean, we'll see. In terms of movies for the rest of the year, we've got, at least for me, it's Joker, Gemini Man. I want to see. I mean, everybody's saying you got to watch that in 3D, and because Ang Lee likes to mess around with his tech. So
yeah, I'm not, unless the screening is in 3D. I'm not worried about 3D.
What else is coming out in the next couple of months besides Star Wars and
I don't remember what.
Is Jungle Cruise coming out this year?
I know we're getting a trailer this week.
And then it's coming out this year then.
I don't think so, because the year's almost over.
Let me do a quick search. Jungle Cruise.
I think that's a 2020 release.
Yep, you're right. July 4th, 2020.
I mean, we got the Marvel is Sony made up. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
Do you really believe the rumors that Kevin Feige is going to write him out when now Sony is creating Madam Web? He's the bridge to the multiverse for them, besides Doctor Strange.
I don't know.
Unless Wanda has those powers.
I don't know how they'll write him out. I mean, it may not be. I think it's one of those things where if they agree to write him out, they're looking at least 2 or 3 more movies with him. And then Sony's okay with writing him out because, 2 more movies with him and then a couple of the Sony ones as well, mind you, right? And then Sony at that point is okay with writing him out for Miles Morales. Because you've gotten how many movies would that be? That would be what? 4 main movies and maybe 2. So that's 7 movies with him. That's cool. That's
I think that's
literally
actually more because he was in 5 movies already with Marvel.
yeah. No, I'm saying that. No, I'm saying Sony proper. It'll be 4 in his main franchise plus 1, right? And then maybe with a Venom or something, whatever, however you want to do it, right? And then that's let's call it say between 5 to 8 movies. That's already a Robert Downey Jr. run almost, right? So at that point, it's okay as long as you space the last one that he's going to be written out as like an Avengers movie or whatever down the line, separate, right? Where he's written out, and that's where Miles Morales now comes in and takes over. And for Sony, that's fine because now you can, and again, because they have a multiverse, they can then recast another Peter again.
And if they do Miles Morales, he's going to pop just like Black Panther.
Exactly. So for them, I think Sony realizes it's like it's cool if we write him out, and for you that ends the connection. That's cool. And then we'll just have Miles Morales take the mantle. And that's just going to, for us, bring a whole new generation of Spider-Man. And for you, Disney, you're going to sell more toys anyway. So, and that deal is beneficial. I mean, it's more beneficial still for Marvel. People kept forgetting that Marvel sells $1.3 billion in toy revenues as of 2017. Sony does not get a penny of that money at all. Just Spider-Man, by the way. Spider-Man alone makes that much money for them in toys.
Good Lord.
Minus the new Spider-Man's new amusement park is going to come up in Disney pretty soon. Again,
really?
Yeah. The whole expansion they're doing, I can't remember what it's called, but D23, they couldn't announce it because of the
whole debacle.
Yeah, so now it's back again. They're not getting anything out of that. The main thing is that now they can now use Spidey in the other movies, and they don't. And Sony was really more concerned about that. They were going to anyway if they didn't work out. But now they're like, okay, fine. If you guys want to chip in and run, then Spider-Man can show up in Venom and all this other stuff that we have coming up.
Well, that was, I believe, part of the deal. Venom gets to show up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they said it's, from what I've pieced together from listening and somewhat reading, one Spider-Man 3, and then one team-up movie, and then Venom gets to, I guess, pop his head in somehow, some way.
I think
I think they go back to the table and finalize it even more.
I think what's going to happen is that Spider-Man can show up in any other movies now, not just Venom. The deal is he can show up in their stuff. So what's going to happen is there's be Spider-Man 3, but I think Spider-Man is going to show up in Venom in a post-credit scene for Venom as well, because that's him either coming to New York City for the first time, right? Because then he remembers in San Francisco. It was a good choice to put it in San Fran. He comes to New York City. He sees Spidey, that kind of stuff. Craven is Spider-Man 3. And then they're going to do 5. We're going to have Sinister 6 in 5.
I think they're moving it sooner.
No, I think it's still going to be Craven for number 3.
Well, maybe
Craven, and then
Campia's got something up about Sinister 6 coming sooner than what we think. Maybe the tail end of 3 that leads to part 4.
Maybe. If it's Sinister 6, he has to die.
What, they kill him?
Facing all those guys? Yeah. I mean, this is one of the. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, that's one of the storylines where Spidey dies. Like he faced all of them, and it was just bad. It was rough. It was rough.
Damn, then he doesn't even get to be with his MJ or Gwen Stacy.
He's going to be with MJ. I think they will keep this MJ long, just like how they kept Tony and Pepper, like just that whole arc, right? And I think we're going to see more MJ when he does the crossover stuff in there, because that's how the Pepper storyline went through. Because we haven't had an Iron Man movie since 3, right? That was the first time they were truly a couple, right? And after that, it was just that anytime you saw him, you saw Pepper, right? And they're like, oh, when are we getting married or whatever? And then finally in Infinity War, they're talking about baby, right? And then in Endgame, it's like, oh, we're going to have a kid. So I think they'll just do it that way to to move the storyline. So by the time you see him in the last one, he's in college, he's with MJ, or whatever the case, whether college or out of college, he's with MJ, and that's the end.
I mean, I like Tom Holland. Hopefully, they don't kill him off, but whatever.
To me though, if I am them though, it's either they kill him off, or as he's getting beat, if they really want to, since they can't do that storyline anymore, now they have that deal. But if he's facing Sinister Six and he's getting beaten, seriously, that is when you open up the multiverse and you bring in the other Spider-Man. That would literally just cause box office mayhem. If you just show Tobey Maguire and what's his name, second Spider-Man,
Garfield,
everybody loses it at that point. You're like, okay, done. You just had a Spider-Man Avengers moment without even stressing it, and then they save him, and then it's just about trying to deal with all that. Because then you can now do that. Just tells you that they're different, and that's Madam Web opening that whole world up together. So you don't have to necessarily. And then if I were them, you can have Madam Web throughout all the other Spider-Verse movies. Not necessarily. I don't want them to make a Madam Web movie because it still requires Spider-Man. But if you make her that portal connection around, then she can always show up with Miles Morales, right? She can show up.
How does she get her powers? Does she have them and?
I can't remember. I was introduced to Madam Web through the animated movies and the way the cartoons, and the way they made it was like this spider web. It's kind of like the Speed Force. I mean, everybody just did their own type of Speed Force, pretty much.
Oh yeah, our shows are back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like I'll get to it when I get to it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna watch the Crisis crossover just to see.
That's an event. I think I'm gonna watch because Arrow literally his season's supposed to just focus on Crisis, leading up to it.
To Crisis, yeah. We know that we've got 3 Supermen showing up.
Man, Smallville is canon now. Brandon Routh's movie is canon. Well,
no, Smallville was always canon. When you make a comic book about it, it was canon already. So it was never.
Well, season 11 was the comic book.
Yeah. So, but that's canon. You already canonized it at that point. But check this out, right? Look at who is the smallest Superman out of all of them.
The Supergirl one.
Yeah, just size-wise, forget even muscle, anything. He just is small compared to Tom Welling and Brandon Routh.
See, when they put Brandon Routh in the suit, I didn't like it. Because not the suit itself, just the fact that, it's like the suit looked padded.
I mean, the suit is padded. He's not going to. But also, again, you have to understand the Kingdom Come Superman looks like that. The way he's designed is very wide, right? Just very like this. So they were going for that specific look of that in there. And
technically, they could have had 2 Kingdom Come type Supermans with the Smallville one. Because let's say he's been Superman for a long time.
Well, he's been Superman for 20 years, pretty much. So he's not as small. Kingdom Come Superman has been Superman for 40, 50 years. So
it makes sense because when they made that Superman with Brandon Routh, he was the portrayal of Christopher Reeve's
Superman.
So it makes sense that he's Kingdom Come because Superman 1 was what, in the 70s?
Yeah, exactly. Which would be about 30 years or so.
It makes sense. I'm looking forward to it. This is going to be the last time we're going to see, Brandon Routh in this universe because they wrote him off of Legends.
I haven't seen the show.
I didn't really finish all of last season.
Could you hold on 1 second? Just keep chatting.
They're moving in a different direction, and it's sad to see him go. But we do have a new Adam coming along into the show, so that'll be fun. So let's see what happens. It's a matter of time. These shows are getting to the point where they're just too long. They need to take a page out of the streaming shows. Cut their episodes down to 13. tighter story, better outcomes. We're not getting that true meaning and feeling for this stuff. Don't mind me, I'm also getting a message while he's dealing with the door. But how is everyone out there? Oh. Yep, it's one of those days. What else is new? I don't know, but if you're a Vikings fan, guys, not the football team, the show, this final season is shaping up to be beautiful. So, if not, just check it out. You guys will enjoy it. It's history's version of Game of Thrones, and they do a wonderful job with it. And if you haven't watched Breaking Bad, get on that too. Great storytelling from season 1 all the way to season 5. You'll love it. And it takes place, the movie will take place moments after the show. All the CW shows have a lot of fillers. It's getting to the point, it's just hard to watch. Rod, I'm watching Titan season 2. I don't think he has gotten up to it yet, but I'm loving it. It's so good. I'm looking forward to.
Sorry about that, guys.
It was announced today.
What?
In Titan season 2, we're getting a Lex Luthor and a Martha Kent.
Ooh, okay.
And I know you haven't watched it yet, but Lightman, he's an idiot. He's one of the villains.
Oh,
Mr. Light, some shit like that.
Yeah, he's always been portrayed like that in comics. I just can't remember his name now. I just may forget. But what?
In this previous episode, he challenges Deathstroke, and Deathstroke answers the call.
Okay.
In such glorious fashion.
I mean, it's Deathstroke, man. I mean, come on. Oh my God, that would be a great movie as well.
Deathstroke?
Just Deathstroke himself, like the early years of Deathstroke.
I'm down.
A little Ra's al Ghul assassin mixing, even though that's not really his original origin, but whatever. You could throw that in there. That would be absolutely fantastic. Tech Guy, Smart Pie says, you're watching Titans season 2, which you probably were talking
I already
about.
answered that. I told him, you know me. Every Saturday morning.
Yeah. Daryl's talking about Supergirl has a lot of filler episodes or whatever.
All the CW shows, while you were at the door,
you went through the whole thing.
If the CW decided, you know what, guys, we could do more comic book shows and tie them more together and have one big, massive, crossover event, all our shows are going to be 13 episodes. No more of this filler crap, because that's what kills the seasons. That's what kills the momentum.
You've heard me, and I'll say it again. What Warner Brothers needs to do is move every single comic book show to HBO Max. That is it. You move it there. Right now, we're hearing Watchmen. It sounds great. Looks. Then again, all HBO shows are well done. Even if you don't like them, they're well done.
On that one, it's taking place about 36 years in the future.
Yeah, because this person is really old. Ozymandias is old. Jeremy Irons is playing him.
Yeah, and then like Daryl said, in this previous episode, we finally got Deathstroke fighting Dick Grayson and Stargirl.
Oof.
Is that her name or Starfire?
The black girl?
Yeah, Corey.
Yeah, Starfire.
Starfire.
Stargirl has a.
Yes, that's the next series coming here soon. But oh man, I'm so looking forward.
Look, Deathstroke
that ending. Oh,
Deathstroke
shit.
versus the Titans. So there's a poster that shows Deathstroke on one side and all the Titans the other. And I sent it to Sam, and Sam is like, "That's a one-way beatdown." Deathstroke beats everybody. The only person who is on the same level with Deathstroke is Batman. Literally, Deathstroke will
And he's gonna be in suit.
Yeah, the only person who's dismantled the whole Titans and that comic series when it came out, I think it was like late 80s, 90s. I can't remember when specifically. Deathstroke just demolished everyone in the Titans, the whole team. And you're talking about people like Wonder Girl, who's powerful. Stargirl is also powerful as well.
I have a problem with this show. Well, not a problem, but I'm a little curious. We seen in Aquaman, he repelled bullets when they shot at him. But yet, episode 4 is a flashback episode, pretty much all about Aqualad. This is going to be a spoiler for you.
But he gets shot.
My dude gets shot, like physically shot, and he's killed. He don't have repellent to like block that shit?
No. So it's what do you call it again? The power is called it's like Luke Cage, right? How impenetrable is your skin? He's not. Whether it's age, and also it's kind of like Aqualad in the cartoon, right? A lot of people in Atlantis use magic as well, right? As opposed to Aquaman, who's also strong, and he doesn't really use magic more or less than anything else. So you've got that in there. But no, I mean I know. So if Deathstroke killed Aqualad, they change it from Deathstroke. Oh, did he kill Aqualad as well in the comic? No, he killed Jericho. No, Jericho died. That's his son. My bad.
I think the Titans are responsible for killing Jericho, because that's what they're hinting at with this storyline. Because at the end of episode 4, you have Dick Grayson, when the original Titans were in form. Yeah. Dick Grayson trades with Jericho, a David Bowie record, and starts, I guess, it ends right there practically. Okay. So, and then you hear in this episode the whole kind of like the backstory and certain things, and the new Titans are feeling left out and all this other stuff.
Okay.
Like I said, dude, gotta get on this.
No, like with Titans, I'm saving.
The only bad episode was the season premiere, because the season premiere was a mixture of the original season finale and then the beginning of season 2.
It's kind of like Shooter.
I enjoyed that, but once they canceled it, I gave up on it.
No. Season 3. So here's about thing about Shooter you mentioned, just quickly, side topic is season 2's ending is in season 3, episode 2.
Yep.
But when you get into season 3 and some of the backstory fillers that they're trying to do with Atlas and his dad, it starts getting much better. You're like, oh, so this is much longer. But it's like season 3 is a season opener, because we're watching it. I'm watching my girl and we're like, this is season 2 finale.
Remember how I told you?
Yeah,
it was cut short because he broke his ankle.
Yeah,
and it stopped production, so they just ended it there. You're like,
no, just watch it, and then you realize it flows correctly, and then the season 3 opener really starts up in episode 3. But it's fine. Like when you watch it
ends, but it's canceled, and they're not going to give us a 4. And I'm pretty sure season 3 ends on some type of cliffhanger or with some resolution not truly finished.
I'll just say it.
Like
just watch it.
Krypton.
Yeah, I mean, forget Krypton. Like I said, Warner Brothers needs to move all their shows over to HBO Max, have a controlled line, and just say, look, we can make all these comic book shows, but you have to keep it tight. You got to cancel some. So Arrow is going, so that's done.
But Arrow's going, and they're talking about bringing in an all-girls team type CW.
Legends of Tomorrow is look, like, to me, if I were them, I will cancel all the shows. I'll cancel all of them. I will bring back I will actually bring. I will redo Black Lightning. I will bring back a Flash show again, because Flash is one you can work with and do some good stuff with there. If I was going to do anything with a girl show on there, I would say Birds of Prey, but they've done Birds of Prey TV show, and we have a movie also coming out at the same time. So I'll skip
that's
that.
not going to happen.
I'll skip that as well. But I would rather just bring all their shows back together again. Like, just put it in one spot. Yeah, I didn't like Lobo and Krypton. I think it was poor casting and poor writing for Lobo. Just didn't hit me well. And
I did not like Lobo and Krypton.
The best part of Krypton was Brainiac and General Zod. General Zod was true to his nature, you know.
I guess they would have fleshed it out a little bit more. How the hell does he come from the future?
They didn't tell us how he came.
They didn't detail that. I mean, we get how Adam Strange came with his little doohickey, and he's getting a TV show, by the way.
On what channel?
That was not announced yet, but he's got a show in the works.
Adam Strange, no, same character, same guy?
That I don't know.
Adam Strange is a great character to have a show with. The problem is who you cast for Adam Strange, right? If you want to do shows like that, to me, if I'm them, Constantine is another one you bring a show back again, right? Because Constantine feels like it covers your supernatural vibe. People like those kind of shows. You can keep it tight, you can keep it focused. And then Adam Strange also. Adam Strange is your star hopper, so to speak. You know, so that works.
Like I said, I am on board with everything you said as far as WB needs to. You know what, guys? We're pulling all our licenses from CW.
No. They part own CW. But here's the funny thing.
Oh.
Yeah, no, they part own CW. If I were them, I will create it for HBO Max and also show it on CW. Not a lot of people watch CW. Like, look, CW's viewership does not even come close to HBO's.
It has to. I'm sorry. What they're doing with Titans is great. And I know, and here's why it won't work on CW. Curse words is a part of everyday life. And that's what the Titans are nailing.
Oh yeah,
they're holding back
that's HBO thing, right? They just do their thing correctly,
and they're not holding back on the fights and the gore.
Yeah,
I mean, for F's sake, we had Deathstroke literally take his sword and stick it through somebody from the back, and he just wipes the blood off like nothing. Oh, I'll eat that up all day.
Yeah, no, true. So, I definitely agree. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I think right now Warner Bros. Is always slow with this stuff, but once the Disney shows hit this fall, at least 2 of them are going to hit, then they're going to look at it and go, yeah, Doom Patrol is going to season 2 HBO Max because it fits HBO vibe, and watch that show go from what it is to where it's going to go when it gets to HBO. Like, people are going to watch Doom Patrol and go,
all wow. I want in Doom Patrol season 2 is Robot Man to keep saying, what the fuck? What the fuck? Because that was fucking gold.
Now, here's the thing. Doom Patrol and Titans needs to go to HBO Max as well. Once they see those 2 shows, right, then they will start, like, Warner Bros. Start thinking, okay, fine. Like I said, look, to me, you take Doom Patrol, you take Titans, right? You look at the other shows around. To me, like I said, Black Lightning needs to go there and just revamp. Because you can just make it in Atlanta. Don't even call it just make it a situational, solid show in Atlanta. Revamp that whole thing over there. Then, if I were you after that, you've got Watchmen as well. So already you've got 4 shows, right? Now, you now look at it, and I said this, and I'll say it again. Then you bring your Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, you do a comedy version of it. Now you have a different type of show. And then you can start dropping all your DC stuff, smaller content characters. And now you don't have to worry in your big movies. Wonder Woman's holding it down. We know Aquaman. And plus, DC is a multiverse anyway. Flash has told you it's a multiverse anyway. right? So you've got your Wonder Woman, your Batman, your Superman, all on the big screen, and then the smaller guys. And if you want to do a crossover event, if you wanted to do one, like, you know how, like, I was watching Endgame today when Doctor Strange opens up and pulls up all these characters. When you have that kind of fight scene, that's when you just bring everybody from the TV
Now,
shows.
see, I have a question here. If this mofo could have did the simple, stupid circle thing in Infinity War, why didn't they get the hell out of there to begin with?
Because out of the 14 million things that he looked
Before
at,
he did the whole hocus pocus shit, they could have left.
no, he could have left, but I think either way, they were going to lose to Thanos somewhere else. And
So
so
it
I
would have been
think,
more. I mean, I enjoyed both movies, but I think that scene, that fight scene, would have been more epic if it was all on Earth and they get their ass handed to them on Earth,
no,
not
I
spread
think
around the galaxy.
no, I think that one was fine. I think, but again, he gave that scene was there to separate everything. That's like a buffer scene in the middle, and to have it on Earth, I mean, again, basically two fight scenes on Earth of that large nature. That was a great buffer scene to say Doctor Strange has now looked. Because when you look in retrospect, because he could have gone home, but basically he's like, let me check all the options. And the best option is actually to stay, not go home. That's just all it says. It's like, you got to stay here for the long game and then go off for the short game. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see. But anyway, we've gone on for about an hour or so. Yeah.
Well,
so
remember, we also had a little
technical difficulties.
Who's there?
Yeah. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining in. Catch us next week. It will be 6 p.m. on.
You didn't watch Rambo yet, huh?
No, I haven't watched Rambo yet. Yeah.
All right.
Like I said, I haven't watched movies.
Here's Rambo.
Yeah.
Our setup, but it flows,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't grasp, everything. And about the final 25 minutes, balls to the wall and saying, yes, what you expect from him to do. Like the tunnel scenes, what we've seen in the trailer. Oh my God, it's so intense. And the things you see, you're like, oh shit. It was great.
Okay. All right.
You'll enjoy.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'll check it out. But first movie I'm going to watch is Joker this week, and I'll probably watch Gemini Man over the weekend. So at least we'll talk about that next week. Stay tuned again, guys. Thank you. 6 p.m. Mondays, we'll be here. We're talking, your entertainments of the week. So thanks for watching, and always enjoy your entertainment.